Strelitzia, you all know what a strelitzia is, hey? This flower. Obviously, it's not just, this flower is symbolic. The flower is symbolic. It's quite a tough, hardy plant, which has this bird of paradise. It's also called a bird of paradise. And when they bloom, they're very showy. And this woman, who's got her prize strelitzias, this is obviously like somewhere else in the country because they grow like easy in Durban. But up in Gauteng and elsewhere in the country, they're very hard to grow and to get to bloom. So her son has kicked the crap out of her plants. And then it asks the question at the end of the poem, because like she doesn't have time. It's already, by the time she goes out and notices on her fancy, symmetrically paved driveway, she notices that they've been, to get into her luxury sedan with her cigarette, she notices that her strelitzias have been kicked to hell. It's too late. And then in the second verse, the poem goes, yeah, it was already too late, but actually, if she had taken time to pay more attention to her son, she might have figured out why he'd done this act of vandalism. He's doing something that is really going to get his mother's attention. And maybe if she had paid her son more attention than she had to her darn strelitzias, etc. But also all the things that are about her appearance, right? And the fact that I think it's also significant that they line the driveway, which means they're visible to others. Okay? Tells you something about the mom and where she's putting attention and where she's holding value. Okay. Dit was reeds te laat vir verskoningsmaak, excuses. Toe mevrou Susan van Brede enkele sekondes nadat sy die oggend om stiptelik 7 uur met 'n lang sigaret tussen gladde naels agter die stuur van haar luukse sedan ingeskuif het, skielik geskok na die linkerkant van haar simmetries geplaveide seersteen oprit staar. Dit was reeds te laat vir verskoningsmaak. Ja, maar dalk. Indien sy nie so besig was om met die staar saam aan verskonings te dink nie, sou sy dalk ten minste redes kon kop waarom haar seun haar strelitzia stikkend wou skop. Okay, have a look at the forum. It's vrae vers tot by the last, this free verse right until the end there where 18 rhymes with 20. Gerijm aan die einde. Kop, stikken so, wou skop. And I think the reason why they do that, if it's anything out of the ordinary, if like you see a thing and then now they do something different, okay, like the words on their own, alleen plasem, it's to bring attention to that. And at the end, now you've got this line 18 rhymes with line 20 is to focus our attention on. Maybe she would have, if she stopped thinking of excuses, she might have found reasons. Okay, we're going to dig into that notion of excuses as well. Okay, directly translated. It was already too late to make excuses when Mrs. Susan van Brede, a few seconds after she, in the morning at 7 o'clock sharp, with a long cigarette between smooth nails behind the wheel of her luxury sedan, moved in, suddenly, shocked, to the left side of her symmetrically paved stone driveway, stared. It was already too late to make excuses, yes, but maybe if she wasn't so busy with the stare, not to think of excuses, she might at least be able to come up with reasons why her son, her strelitzia, would want to kick to pieces. And that whole reasons, excuses idea, she looks with shock. It's all too late for excuses, says the speaker in the poem. And maybe she wasn't looking for excuses. So she looks, she sees it, and immediately thinks of excuses. And the suggestion here is that People who are so worried about appearance and perfection, and who will even make excuses for their children's bad behavior, are damaging their children, like he's damaging her Strelitzias. And it shows. I think the poet is strongly saying children don't want a parent who wants everything to look perfect and will just make excuses for their behavior. They want a parent who cares enough to give them enough attention to discipline them and to give them boundaries and to be there to enforce those boundaries and for them to have consequences as well. Annie Klopper is being very, very critical of Mevrou Susan van Breda and mothers like her. She is talking about a woman who is a mother, right? And saying what happens when somebody has that attitude. And she's showing, not telling, a bunch of stuff about Mevrou Susan van Breda. So let's dig into that. So the first part, the first 10 lines, the first stanza, starts with, dit was reeds te laat. It's already too late. It's already too late. So what is it already too late to? It's already too late to to make excuses, right? She can't save her Strelitzias. And the poet is also suggesting here, the speaker, that it's also too late for her to make excuses for her son. She's let it get too far. By the time the son has come and kicked her prize plants to smithereens, the speaker is saying it's too late. It's too late. You can't make any excuses now. Maybe you should look at the reasons why this has already happened. Look at what they tell you about her, Mevrou Susan van Breda, in parenthesis. Enkele secondes, just seconds after and look at that stiptelik, sharply, 7 uur, exactly 7 o'clock, poof, she slid in behind the wheel of her sedan. It shows you that she's very perfect. Stiptelik, betaits, gladde nails, her smooth nails, luxe sedan. Okay, this is somebody who puts a lot of importance on precision and appearance. And I mean, you got a kid, that's got to go out the window. It's like, so, yeah. And some of you have moms and high-flying corporate jobs and that, but like when you were little, there's sometimes that they had to change 3 times after the burp up vomit all over their clothes before they left the door. And there's sometimes when they got kids and that like they just don't have time to get the nails redone, etc., but not Mevrou van Breda, Susan van Breda. So what is happening with her son while she's getting all that done perfectly? He's turning into a little monster. He feels neglected and ignored. Look at the skielik geskok, alleenplasing and the alliterasie. Sometimes alliteration can happen in the middle of a word. It's the repetition of the consonant sound. But those alleenplasings shows how she suddenly, skielik geskok, dit beklemtoon hoe gou sy dit gesien het, how quickly she saw it of opgemerk het. Na die linkerkant van haar symmetries geplaveerde seersteen oprit staar. She suddenly shocked, turns and stares. She stares to the left of her symmetrically paved driveway. And oprit is a driveway.
Sorry, where did you say the alliteration was?
The k en the skielik en geskok.
Oh, thank you.
Dit was reeds te laat vir verskoning maak. Ja, look at the yes. It says ja. It was too late for verskoning. Yes, agreeing. Maar maybe it slows down. It slows down the rhythm and the pace of the poem here. This Liam poem, and it slows it down so that we pause and think, because this is exactly what the poet's suggesting that Susan van Breda does, which is stop. It's too late, but stop and think, and maybe, because you're so darn busy, if you stopped and paused and took the time to notice what's happening with your son, you would know why this happened, and she could have prevented it, right? Indien sy nie so besig was om met die staar saam, so if she wasn't so busy, and even now, she's so busy staring, even now she's not even doing it. So if she wasn't so busy, and so busy with the state, trying to think of excuses. And what might some of the excuses be that she sees this has been done? What might some of the excuses be? I didn't give him his Ritalin. Yes, he has ADHD, and how insulting for people who do have ADHD, because like some of you have ADHD and haven't acted out like this. Your parents haven't let you reach the point of frustration where you do that. Yes? Yes?
What would the like points of the brackets be?
What did I say? You always answer.
It's a whisper.
Nah, Hayden, yes?
Addisionele informasie.
Addisionele. Extra inligting. Extra inligting.
Thank you.
The sentence would be, if she wasn't so busy thinking of excuses, and the writer's going, if she wasn't so busy with the stare as well, which again reinforces the fact that she's shocked. I think the writer's implying that you shouldn't be shocked, Jack. The writing was all on the wall. If you were stop thinking of excuses, another reason could be, what's other reasons? He doesn't like his teacher. Shame he's disappointed in something. It's his friend's fault. It's his father's fault. He's, whatever it could be.
Could she say that she's blaming it on everyone else except her and her son?
Yes. So say dalk ten minste, maybe she possibly at least could find reasons waarom haar seun haar Strelitzia stikkend sou verskop. And there's difference between reasons and excuses, because all of those things could be reasons. Maybe the son is being bullied at school and doesn't know anyway how to express his grief and anger. Okay? Doesn't excuse him for acting out. You're allowed to be angry and cross and frustrated, but to go and destroy things. And if he found a safe space with his mom where he could express it, that wouldn't have happened, right? So I think they're also showing the difference here between reasons and excuses. Okay? I mean, even a psychopath, Jeffrey Dahmer, had all sorts of reasons for luring people in, drugging them, killing them, and cooking them and eating them. He didn't want anyone to leave him because he was weird and alienated and bullied as a child. Very, very difficult mother. And so yes, those were his reasons. This doesn't excuse him for actually acting out on that. And I like the fact that right at the end of the poem, it goes to, just at the end, they reveal, waarom haar seun haar Strelitzia stikkend sou wou skop. Right at the end, she only reveals what Susan van Brede is staring and shocked about. Die Strelitzia, die stikkende Strelitzia, is symbolies van al die dinge in die lewe waarop Susan van Brede waar plaas. The Strelitzias are symbolic of all the things in her life that Susan van Brede places value on. So, it's called a volg-uitstel techniek, by the way, when you vind eers aan die einde uit, waaroor die gedig eintlik handel. Dit bou spanning, it builds tension to find out, vind uit, aan die einde, at the end, what the poem's about. And we see, you day af, or you infer from a poem, dat daar 'n gespanne verhouding tussen die ma en die seun is. A stressful or a tense relationship, gespanne verhouding tussen die ma en die seun. And probably as a result of not enough attention and broken communicasie. So, 'n gebrek aan aandag in communicasie. You'll need to make these own notes for this, eh? Herhaling, what does herhaling always day op? What do you say, Carl, if you see herhaling, or in bold, or italics? Anybody know? Come on, starts with a B. Beklemtoon. Die herhaling, repetition is beklemtoon.
Sorry to go back. Would you say the flowers are a symbol for alles belangrik in haar lewe?
Ja.
Okay, thank you.
Voorkoms, appearances. Okay, so ons kan 'n paar moontlike redes vir die seun se optredes aandui. We can infer a few possible reasons for the son's behavior. Dit kan dui op 'n botsing of kommunikasiegaping tussen die ma en seun, either be a clash or communication gap between the mother and son. Die ma is moontlik so besig, soos in die gedig skryf, dat sy is onbetrokke by haar son. Sorry, I'm speaking English and Afrikaans. She's too busy that she's not involved with her son. And perhaps, die seun het moontlik haar aandag probeer kry deur hierdie vandalistiese daad. Be able to write that. Die seun probeer om haar aandag te kry deur hierdie vandalistiese daad. Die Strelitzia kan gesien word as 'n simbool vir sy ma, it's a symbol for Susan van Breda herself as well. En haar besige leefwyse, her busy, perfect, glamorous life. Hy rebelleer, he rebels teen haar onbetrokkenheid deur haar Strelitzia stikken te skop. He rebels against her uninvolvement in his life. Shame. Poor kid. I want to say, come on, Susan van Breda. Put on a onesie with your son, build a blanket fort in your lounge, eat pizzas, sleep on the couch with a Netflix party with your son tonight, this weekend. He needs it, eh? Right, let's have a look at the answers. Waarvoor sou Susan van Breda, as dit nie te laat was, verskoning maak? If it wasn't too late, what would she make excuses for? Moin? Ja, okay, ja. Haar slegte verhouding met haar seun. Haar slegte verhouding met haar seun. Okay, so you could either say her relationship with the son, or haar seun se opdragte. Haar seun se his bad behavior. Slegte opdragte. Of die stout dinge wat haar seun doen. 5.2. Die vrou word as mevrou Susan van Breda aangespreek. Wat se regeer die aanspreekvorm omtrent haar karakter, Sophie? What would you say? She's spoken about as mevrou Susan van Breda. What does it say about her character?
It says baie formeel.
Yes, sy's baie formeel. Or sy is koud. 'n Koue mens. Right? It's a little bit cold to be. It's not like nice and relaxed. Haal een woord uit strofe 1 aan today dat die van Bredes ryk is. Carl, have a look at it. Come on. Talk about how's the car described? Luxe, yes. Jess, next one. Lees vers reël 7 en 8. Waarom dink jy is die woorde skielik en geskok alleen in 'n vers reël geplaas? Jess.
Oh, I haven't got this one in Afrikaans, but I know it's because, I think it's because to emphasize that she's like, it suddenly hits her that
Yes,
her
so
driveway is what.
100%, but you need to try and think about it in Afrikaans. What's that word for emphasize with a B?
Om te beklemtoon dat sy
Yes. Om te beklemtoon hoe geskok sy is. Another word for skielik and geskok is onverwags. Unexpected. Onverwags. Hoe weerspieël die tipografie van vers 7 en 8 wat Susan van Breda op daardie oomblik doen? How does the typography mirror, reflect what she did in that moment?
As dit, like, I think die leenplasing wys so stadig sy ding.
Maybe it's wys so stadig sy ry omdat sy agteruit ry, right? So it could be a few things. Die leenplasing kan wys hoe sy stop skielik. Dit lyk ook 'n bietjie, if you look at typography, if you have a look at that, it's kind of like those are there by themselves, kind of like a little rear view mirror. So dit dui aan dat sy besig is om agteruit te ry. She's reversing. It indicates that she's reversing. Sy ry agteruit op haar oprit. Verwys na strofe 1. Noem een ding wat wys dat Susan van Breda probeer om perfek te wees. Dallas, can you think of one thing in stanza 1 that shows that she tries to be perfect? There's two possible answers there. Can you think of one?
Is it okay if I look at the poem?
Oh, yes, you must. You must. They're there with you in the exams.
I know which one it is, but I don't want to say it because I can't speak. It's the her like perfect nails, gladde nails.
Perfect. Gladde nails. Okay, I suppose you could. I would say, guys, you got any of them? Yeah.
Symmetrical driveway.
Yes, symmetries geplaveide seesteen oprit of sy verlaat die huis stiptelik om 7 uur. Right? Wat is moontlik die belangrikste aspek van haar lewe wat nie perfek is nie? What's probably the most important part of her life that's not perfect?
I said haar verhouding.
Ja, haar verhouding met haar seun. Haar verhouding met haar seun. Great. Watter woord in strofe 1 beteken dat iets aan albei kante dieselfde lyk? Symmetries, dis reg. Hoe weerspieël die bou van die twee strofes in die gedig jou antwoord in vraag 6.1? Noem twee dinge. So when they're looking, die bou van die twee strofes, alright? They're also quite perfect. Line 1 and line 11 are repeated, herhaling. And both verses have 10 lines. Okay? Waarvan is die Strelitzia moontlike metafoor, Hayden?
Okay. Can I just also like add on to the last question?
Yes, yes.
If you say there was like daar was ook herhaling van die leenplasing, would that also be fine?
Yes, yes.
And then for 5.7 I said dit is 'n metafoor vir alles wat mevrou van Brede sit haar aandag op.
Yeah, okay. I think we can even simplify it for purposes of our exam, and it's a metaphor for her. It could also be a metaphor for her son. Her son who's going, look at me. Okay, right. Now you see me. So either of those would be right. Either the seun or her. If you said everything that's important in her life, you would have got your mark there, Hayden. I'm just saying simpler for everybody else. You could just say, this is a metaphor for her, from mevrou van Brede. Well done for focusing all the way to the end, and well done for investing some time in your future marks. It's gonna pay off. If you'd love us to keep creating free content that's relevant to your matric exams, not just Afrikaans gedigte, we do have other subjects and other topics coming up. Please like and subscribe and share this with all your friends. And don't forget to follow us on all our socials. The details are in the description below.